All right, what is up, everybody? Matt Modi here with another live stream of Fast Break Bets, of course, hosted by yours truly. I got a fresh Betting Pros hat. I got my backdrop. Things are looking up. If you are new, what we're going to be doing live stream at this time every Wednesday and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. At least for the time being, if something changes, you will know. But Wednesday and Friday at this time, you can expect that. What I'll be doing, one pick for each game on the NBA slate. So for today, we have 9 games, pretty decent slate of 9 games. Going to have one pick for each one. And then one game, I'm going to have two. So I'm going to have 10 picks total, true to the YouTube, the title of the YouTube video. So if you're tuning in, number one, we appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe, turn notifications on, and share with your friends. And then most importantly, get those questions in the chat. Last stream we did on Wednesday was super active in terms of the chat, which I loved. So any questions, any comments, anything you have, throw that in the chat. I have it up on the screen here, so I'm monitoring it. And then if you want to find me, you can any social media at Jedi Modi, pretty much anywhere. To do a recap in terms of results from last show. And Brandon, I see you. What's up? Let's team up. Let's do it. Last show, I just can't break the hovering around 500. There was 14 games. We had 14 picks, went exactly 7 for 7. So 500 in terms of win percentage, but thanks to some of the plus money bangers, we do end slightly in the green, up 1.1 units specifically from Wednesday. So we've done it 3 times so far. We have a record of 19 and 19, exactly 500 win percentage. But thanks to some plus money bangers, we are slightly up 1.35 units overall. Have a good feeling that we're finally going to break out of the mediocrity today. No more 7-9, Jeff Fisher said famously. Before we get going, I do want to do a quick shout out to the Betting Pros app. It's what I use to help me with all my picks today. I also use it on my own for NFL, which I don't do any content for Betting Pros for. It's just a good app. It's really helpful. You can find it, bettingpros.com/apps. I love using it for the prop bet cheat sheet. What the cheat sheet does is it gives you recommended picks, based on Betting Pros projections. So based on what the current lines are from the books, and then what Betting Pros projects it. They give you the positive expected value of the play, the percent chance of the play hitting itself, because obviously EV is all dependent on the odds themselves. And then it gives you the difference. So if you're betting something like player points, you could find some really wide gaps between the Betting Pros projections and the books. I also log all my picks on the app, bettingpros.com/Modi. You can use it and find a free trial to the premium offering, which is what I have, which is amazing. And then I also love the fact that it syncs with your sports books. So you don't need to manually track anything. It does it all for you. With all that out of the way, I'm ready to get into some picks. So I'm going to have one pick for each game. And then one game specifically, we're going to have multiple. So again, if you have a question about a game that I'm talking about, get that in the chat. First up, and I'm just going in order of when the games are played, 76ers versus Pistons. I actually have a main line here. I'm taking the Pistons plus 9.5. It's minus 110 odds at both Caesars and FanDuel. This is going to seem crazy because the Sixers are on a roll. They've won 6 straight. They're coming off of a massive victory against the Celtics. To me, that seems like the perfect time for a letdown game. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you that I think that the Pistons are going to win straight up or that I think the Sixers are frauds or anything like that. But they're away, traveling to Detroit to take on a young, feisty Pistons team. Perfect opportunity for a letdown spot. It's unlikely, just in general, for the Sixers to continue to play with the same energy that they've had all year, especially after beating the Celtics, who own their soul basically every single playoff run. The Sixers are also 7-0 against the spread. They're the only team that's covered every single spread. That is something that's unlikely to keep up as the books finally catch up to, after a circus offseason, the Sixers quite possibly just being good. So getting roughly 10 points, 9.5, I do think is good value. So I like the Pistons to cover the spread. If you want to sprinkle the money line, you can. I'm not going to do that myself. And obviously we're just tracking if they cover, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a major letdown game and the Sixers lost. Next up, and I'm going to have two picks in this game, the Hornets versus Wizards. Somehow the worst game on the slate. I have two picks for. Wasn't on purpose. That's just how things go. First up, another play on the main line, another underdog to cover the spread. The Hornets +3, -110 odds. This is at FanDuel and DraftKings. So for those of you that did tune in on the previous stream, we we were on the Wizards to cover the spread. They were +3.5. Now we're flip-flopping. We're taking the Hornets to cover the spread. It's one of my favorite betting strategies. I talked about it a ton because it makes the most sense around the playoffs when two teams play each other back to back to back, whatever. In situations like this, when two teams play back to back games in 2 nights, zigzag method, the flip flop method, just bet the opposite of whatever previously happened. These two teams just played on Wednesday, and the Wizards smoked the Hornets. The Wizards were +3.5 in that game. Now they are -3. You're telling me there's a 6.5 point difference between these two teams from Wednesday to today? I'm not buying it. I still think the Wizards are as much of an abomination as they were before. I love fading those recent events. The reality is the Wizards still stink. They have the worst net rating third worst net rating in the NBA, second worst defense. The Hornets are above them in both of those categories. So I'm not sure that the Wizards deserve the benefit of the doubt here. I love fading them in this one. Audiohead exclusives. We are hopefully getting the goods tonight. And Louis Jordan, hopefully I'm pronouncing your first name right. Rozier is out. That personally doesn't scare me off. I still am with the Hornets on this one. Next up, same game. This is one of my pumped up player props for relatively juicy odds, not the juiciest on this one, but we're taking Brandon Miller, 15 plus points. It's +110 odds at FanDuel. The Wizards, as I mentioned previously, their defense stinks. They have the second worst defense according to net rating, and they give up the most points per game. Part of that is because they give up a ton of 3-pointers and they play at a fast pace, but they allow a ton of points. These two teams in their last game, when they played, Brandon Miller had 13. He wasn't terrible. He had 11 attempts overall, only 2 from deep. I think he gets going in this one. He started off hot and hasn't gotten to 15 in a little bit. But against the Wizards, he could have the same exact shot attempt profile and get 15. And by profile, I just mean 11 attempts overall and 2 from deep. Because against the Wizards, there's some high value looks. And if he gets going from deep, which has been a little bit since he's done, 15 points is not a ton. I think he can easily do it against these Wizards. That is our third pick of the evening. And before we get to our fourth one, I do need to do a quick ad break. And I want to talk to you about how you can get a 1 year of a premium subscription to Betting Pros. It's a giveaway, a 1 year premium subscription giveaway. So if you want a chance at that 1 year premium subscription to Betting Pros, all you need to do, it's quite simple. Subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel, which hopefully you are already doing if you are tuning in. And then also you just need to comment on the video itself. You can comment whatever you want, that you love my picks, that you hate my picks, that you don't think this hat looks great on me. That's all that stuff is fine. You just have to comment. The Betting Pros premium subscription is your place to bet smart and not hard. I know we live in a grind culture. Everybody tells you have to grind and work hard. The reality is working smart is much more meaningful and helpful towards working hard. So I recommend applying that to your betting life. So again, 1 year premium subscription giveaway. You just need to subscribe and comment. Make sure to have those notifications to the Betting Pros YouTube channel turned on, assuming you're already subscribed. So that way you can be alerted when new episodes are up and you can claim your prize. So cannot recommend it enough to go do that. Next up, fourth pick of the evening, Nets versus Celtics. We're taking Kristaps Porzingis, under 8.5 rebounds. It's -115 odds, both at Caesars and DraftKings. This was a play. I didn't have a great feel for Nets Celtics. I took directly from the Betting Pros app, their cheat sheet, their prop cheat sheet. It's a 33.9% positive expected value play, according to Betting Pros. They project him to have 7 rebounds in this one, and they give him a 71.6% chance to go under 8.5 rebounds. A lot of reasons to like this one. Al Horford's out. He was announced out when I blocked in this play, so no surprise there. I still like it, even with Horford out. The reality is, I just don't think the books have caught up to the fact that Porzingis is just not rebounding really at all for the Celtics. He's gone under this number, under 8.5 in every game except for one. In the one game he went over, he had exactly 9. So if you had the under, you would have gotten got by the hook. The Celtics are a good rebounding team from their wings and their guards. Both Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday, they both average more rebounds than Porzingis. Tatum is an absurd rebounder for, not that he's small, but just for a wing player. He's at 9.7 per game. Drew Holiday is an excellent rebounder as a guard at 7.3 rebounds per game. Porzingis is third at 6.7. So I love for him to go under, again, under 8.5, minus 115 odds. Some comments here. Swizz Solis, thank you. I like that Brandon Miller play as well. David, what's up? And Jerry, let's hope we can make some money. That is the goal here. We were slightly up last time, hoping we can be up even more this time. So that was our 4th pick. Next up, we are in the Pelicans versus Rockets. Another main line play here. I'm taking the Pelicans plus 3.5. It's minus 115 odds at BetMGM. Now, this is a play where maybe I'm too stubborn because the Rockets have been surprisingly good this year. They just smashed the Lakers. Dylan Brooks pokes bears. He poked the Lakers last time they played, but I'm just not ready to buy the Rockets yet. And again, you can call me stubborn and say their Rockets are 5th in the NBA in net rating, the 9th best defense, the 11th best offense. Them being top 11 in both offense and defense is crazy. Shocking where they came from. Now, obviously, they do have some pretty tangible differences from last year and the past couple years to this year. New head coach in Ime Udoka. They signed Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks, but they're overall still a young team. Young teams generally have ups and downs, and the Rockets at this point have won 4 or 5 straight games after starting 0-3. So to me, that just seems like eventually things are going to start swinging back the other way. And for the Pelicans, Zion is confirmed in on this one. I know he was questionable earlier in the day. I did see that he was confirmed in. So that did shift the odds a little bit to the Pelicans at plus 2.5 as opposed to 3.5. I still like it at that number. I would take the Pelicans plus 2.5. Again, if you want to sprinkle the money line, I would not hate that as well. I'm only tracking whether they cover the spread or not, but not a terrible money line play. So that's our 5th play of the evening. And I do want to do just a quick break to mention that all these plays I lock in on the app, and you can follow me there on the app, bettingpros.com/Modi. Some of them I need to do a customized pick, so you need to go and check them there. But I do have all my plays tracked on the app. You can follow along. Syncs with your sports books. Really cool to just kind of see your results and all that stuff. So we're 5 picks deep. Next up, we are in the Jazz versus Grizzlies game. I have Lauri Markkanen over 1.5 assists, plus 118 odds at FanDuel. This was another play that I found on the Betting Pros prop cheat sheet. 40% positive expected value play. They project him, Betting Pros does, to have 2.1 assists. So they give him a 62% chance to go over 1.5. And remember, we're getting this for plus 118 odds. So it's a plus money play that, according to Betting Pros, has a 62% chance to hit. That's pretty good. That's where you get your 40% positive EV play. So I absolutely love it. Obviously, Lauri is not known as a massive assist guy by any means, but both of these teams, the Jazz and the Grizzlies, are not great on defense. The Grizzlies, they're not one of the worst teams, but they've been a disappointment on defense considering where they've been the past couple of years. And they both play pretty fast, which is what I love. A ton of possessions, just more opportunities to rack up all these stats. The Jazz play at the 7th fastest pace, the Grizzlies at the 8th fastest. So it's going to be a track meet. Again, he's not Jokic by any means as a big man who can pass, but 2 assists, I think he can get there. So I like that as our 6th play. So 4 more. Next up, we have Timberwolves versus Spurs. This is another pumped up player prop one. Anthony Edwards to score 30 plus points, plus 145 odds at FanDuel. Edwards is awesome. One of my favorite players to watch. And he's been, sorry, my dogs are barking. They also love Anthony Edwards, if you can hear. He's absolutely been cooking this year. And in this game specifically, he gets the benefit of playing the Spurs, who are a train wreck on defense. They're second worst in terms of points per game allowed, allowing 125.9. They are the worst defense according to net rating. Very, very bad. Their net rating, and this is according to NBA.com, looking at their advanced stats, is 121. Now, high is bad, 100 is average. The next closest team is the Wizards at 119.7. That's a huge difference between the worst and the second worst. Really, the only position where the Spurs are decent on defense is with Wemby guarding big men, and that's because Wemby's awesome. Outside of that, they allow some massive performances. Just looking at their last game against the Knicks, all of Quickly, Brunson, Barrett, and Randall. Sorry, the last one, Julius Randle. They all went over their point total over/under against the Spurs. Looking at Anthony Edwards, as I mentioned, he's been awesome. He's gone over 30 points in 3 games so far, coming off of that dominant 38-point performance against the Celtics. He pretty consistently puts up 20-plus shots, 8+ from deep. We do have the risk of a blowout here. There is massive blowout potential, but realistically, Anthony Edwards could get this in the first 3 quarters because of the high percentage looks that he's going to be able to get against this Spurs defense. They're an abomination. I like for him to get to 30. So 3 more picks. I'll do another ad break, this time to talk to you about the Betting Pros Discord. So if you are in this stream in the chat and you're looking to up your sports betting game, I would say you have no further to look than the Betting Pros Discord. It's completely free, so it's not one of those things, not a paid Discord, not a paid Telegram, which is what you see a ton in the industry. And in the Discord, there is a group of expert sports betting handicappers to give you picks for everything. We're in the mecca, the golden era of sports, time of year. NFL, NBA, college football, NHL, college basketball is just starting. In the Discord, you can find picks for all those sports, player props, live betting, futures, all that good stuff. So I highly, highly recommend getting in on the action. Assuming you watching this are a sports betting enthusiast, the Discord, the Betting Pros Discord, is full of sports betting enthusiasts. So join. I also like it. And I think, to me, if you ask me, the most valuable thing you can get out of it is just to pick the experts' brains in terms of their strategy. So instead of just giving you free picks, which you can obviously tail and they're profitable, you can also learn how to find them yourself. So you can find it at bettingpros.com/chat. Join today. Take your sports betting experience to the next level. I cannot recommend it enough. I am in there. It's great. So, all right, 3 picks left. And this next one is our spiciest in terms of odds. Also one of my favorites. Clippers Mavericks. We're taking Luka to score 35+ points. It's plus 250 at FanDuel. Luka, he's awesome. Not much to say about Luka. What I do like about him is it feels like the first time in his career where he actually showed up to the regular season in shape. He didn't have to play himself into shape, which it felt like he's done every other year of his career. On the year, he's averaging 31.5 points. He's basically hovered around 30 points in every single game, except for 2. He hasn't. He's gone 35 plus in 2 of 8 games. And in 1 of the 8, he had exactly 34. So he's hovering right around that number. I get it. 35 points is a lot, but just look at Luka's shot profile. 25 shots per game he gets up consistently, 10 from deep, and 10 free throw attempts as well. You add all that together, and you can get to 35 without a ton of work. Last game, he scored 31 points while only shooting 2 of 10 from deep. Also, I love the matchup here. You think going up against the Clippers with PG and Kawhi that you do not want to target someone to score a lot of points, but Luka kills the Clippers. We've seen this time and time again. He scored 35+ points in 4 of their last 5 games against Luka against the Clippers. In one game, in the game he missed, he put up 29. Overall, now they have played a lot because the 2 playoff series, 1 went 7, 1 went 6 games. But overall in his career, he scored 35+ points 13 times against the Clippers. That does include playoff games. It's pretty simple offense. All he needs to do, run a pick and roll, get switched onto someone like Russ or Harden, and then it's barbecue chicken. And the Clippers have a switching defense. So I love for Luka to go off in this one, 35+ points. I see some questions in here. Number 1, it's plus 200. They might have shifted. I try to keep up with the odds as much as I can, but with 10 of them, I can't always get current. I would still take it at plus 200. And then the juice asking about Chet, 9.5 rebounds plus assists. I'm going to get to the Thunder Kings in just a second. My play isn't on that market specifically, but I will answer your question then. So yeah, 35 plus points for Luka, plus 250 at FanDuel. 2 picks left, Lakers versus Suns. My final, just a mainline play here, Lakers +4, minus 110 odds at Caesars. Neither of these teams have been great. Neither of them have been healthy. The difference is the Suns have been missing all of their, like not all, Kevin Durant's played, but Book has been in and out. He's out tonight, confirmed out. Bradley Beal just played his first game and is projected. I think he's probable or questionable. He's going to play in this one. He's played one game so far for the Suns, and he didn't look great. He played 24 minutes, and he shot 2 of 13, or 2 of 12, 3 of 12. Got my numbers mixed up. 3 of 12 from the field with 13 points. Not great. In that game, the Suns barely beat the Bulls. It took overtime. For this one, I know the Lakers are banged up too, but Anthony Davis is currently listed as probable. So I am projecting him to play after missing last one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers won this game straight up. I am still a believer that the Lakers are going to get it together. The Suns, if their team isn't healthy, then there really isn't anything to get together. And again, Book is still out. So I like the Lakers in this one. Then last pick, 10th and final pick of the evening, Thunder versus Kings. I like another pumped up prop here, Josh Giddey over 15.5 points, plus 135 at DraftKings. So it's not 15 plus, it's over 15.5. You can find it on DraftKings. His main line for this one is 13.5. And you could take him to score 15 plus, but it's minus 113 odds. To me, you get him 16 or more and you get significantly better odds. I think makes a ton of sense. I did find this one on the Betting Pros app as well. They project, Betting Pros does, for him to score 17 points. So for me, the difference in odds, that is pretty significant in terms of just going for a couple points. Now, obviously for the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, is always capable of blowing up. He blew up last game. He's incredible. And this Kings defense, in terms of the matchup, they're not quite Spurs or Wizards level bad, but they're also pretty bad. They give up 116 points per game, which is 21st in terms of points per game, ranked 21st. They have the 18th ranked defense according to net rating, so they're definitely below average. Giddey's been quiet the past couple games. He's only scored 8 points each. To me, it feels like a great opportunity to buy back in on Giddey, especially after the fact that SGA just went off for 43 points. After games like that, the other players that didn't just put up 43 points are always going to be undervalued. So I like taking advantage of that, getting Giddey to go back to his scoring ways. Again, it's over 15.5, and that point's clear. It's 16 or more points, plus 135 odds at DraftKings. Now, to answer your question about Chet over 9.5 points, or excuse me, rebounds plus assists, this is not a market that I looked into myself. I just off of first thoughts, I like it. The thing with the Kings is last year they played at, if not the fastest, one of the fastest paces in the NBA. So all their games were track meets, ton of opportunity to rack up different types of stats. With De'Aaron Fox out, they just aren't playing as fast, which means less opportunity. I still like it. I mean, Chet's been awesome, and he could get 10 rebounds himself. So just without a ton of analysis, I like that one. I also see the question here, or just commenting over 11.5 rebounds assists for SGA is a good one too. I would agree. If Giddey's scoring a lot, maybe it's more of an assist playmaker game for SGA. So I like that one as well. But that's all we got. 10 picks for you guys to tail. If you're riding on any of these, make sure to comment and let me know. I love reading through the comments and seeing what people have to say. A couple of quick reminders. Number one, check out the Betting Pros app. It's where I find all of the analysis for my picks. bettingpros.com/apps. The cheat sheet is my favorite. It's amazing. You can follow me there. You can also sign up for a free trial for the premium offering, and it syncs with your sports books. While we're talking about the premium subscription, don't forget about the 1 year or the giveaway for a 1 year of the premium subscription. All you got to do is subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel. Hopefully you're already doing that. And then make sure to comment. Any comment will do. That's all you have to do. Subscribe and comment, and then turn those notifications on so you can get notified when we select a winner. And then lastly, the Betting Pros Discord. Hop in there, find free picks for any sport you're looking for. Also, you can talk shop, talk strategy with some experts. That's all we got. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I love hearing from people in the chat. Again, make sure to subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. You can find me on Twitter. I was just answering that question, Swizz Solus. You can find me on Twitter at my handle at Jedi Modi, JEDI MODI. I recap all of these streams just so people can kind of understand how we're doing. So make sure to do everything that I mentioned. Appreciate everybody for joining. Have a good weekend. Let's all win our bets tonight and have a good one.